Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about Round Hill's QDTE NASDAQ 100 covered call ETF and how much 100 shares will pay you in weekly dividend income. So the cool thing about Round Hill, they're innovating this covered call space. They're actually paying out weekly distributions. So really cool there. So let's go ahead and dive into it here. So the con with some of these covered call ETFs is the NAV erosion. Right? So looking at just year to date, they did start in March, so it's not a full year yet, but it's down 14.08%, right? And if you look at SPY, you look at QQQ, the rest of the market is in the green. So this is something that you have to understand before putting your hard-earned money into these funds, is that they have the potential to erode over time, and you just have to understand that they're distributing so much from the covered call premium that this is almost inevitable. Round Hill has been doing a better job compared to some of the other yield maxes funds and stuff like that. But I think it's inevitable. Just my personal opinion that until they can modify their strategy a little bit, you know, the fund is going to erode over time, and that's just something maybe not always. Like you looking, actually, it looks like on all the time frames for this fund here are all in the red. But and sometimes you're going to get some upside, but I think for the majority cases, you are going to get some of that erosion there. So with that being said, though, let's look at the the dividend distributions. It's mainly covered call distributions, the premium from that. Let's look at that, and then we're also going to look at the total return, like if you drip or if you reinvested into the fund, what your return actually might look like. So let's go ahead and look at some of the numbers here. So bear with me. This website, I think their yield is off a little bit, the calculation here. So we'll manually calculate that as well. But let's go ahead and take a calculation here. So the cool thing, like I mentioned before, they pay weekly. So if we add this up, we will see that. And then, another thing to understand too is that it ranges a lot. They were paying 56 cents a couple weeks ago, but it's all the way down to 32 cents now. So just understand that it's going to vary a lot, but let's just use the most recent distribution of, let's say, 33 cents. So 33 cents times, obviously 100 shares, it's going to pay you $33, $33 a week. So pretty cool. You multiply that by 4, you're looking at making over $130 a month, and then annualized out 12 months, $15.84. And then if we divide that by the current price of QDTE, you're actually looking at almost a 40% yield versus what they're illustrating here. So not too bad. That can definitely offset some of the NAV erosion if you're getting these high of distributions continually. We'll see though, if they can continually produce, this high distribution week after week. It'll be definitely something interesting to see, and to follow along there. So almost 40% dividend yield there, or distribution yield. Let's look at the total return. So this is the website I like to use for that. And if we click on calculator, okay, so this is a DRIPS return calculator. Okay, so then we did QDTE, and we're going to compare it to the NASDAQ 100. So I think it was like, what, 14%? Let's look at this real quick. Year to date, we're down 14%. Okay. Okay, and then pulling this up. Okay, so the return from March to September, you are looking at like a 2.38% return versus the NASDAQ, which is 1.02%. That is crazy. I did not realize the NASDAQ has performed that poorly. I'm going to double check that from March 7th to September 6th. But, according to this chart and this data, you are actually outperforming the QQQ NASDAQ index. We are going to definitely take a look at that here in a second to confirm that. Yeah, that would be amazing, if this is the actual, accurate data here. They've paid out over $7 in dividends so far. They started the price, so it has eroded. So what was it? 46.44 divided by 39.90. It has eroded 16% or so. But you're pretty much almost break even, year to date, including those dividends. But yeah, let's go look at QQQ again, and see if that's truly accurate. There it was. Okay, so since, would they say March 7th? So since March 7th, so what was it exactly? It was, March 7th. Huh. It's only returned to 1%, and that's probably right, isn't it? Through the 6th of September. So this chart is saying 0.73%. Wow. That is that's pretty incredible. So QDTE actually has outperformed the NASDAQ since it's so up until March 7th. What did it return? It returned 9%. So it has only returned, at one point it was we were up 13% at one point, but then it has pulled back a significant amount to where it's only up another percent. So that's incredible. I was unaware of that, but sorry for the ramble here, but it does appear that according to this website, since its inception date, it has been outperforming the NASDAQ 100 or the triple Q ETF. So pretty interesting there, guys. Could be a use case to look at this ETF. However, over the long term, I'm very confident the NASDAQ 100 is going to outperform QDTE. Not financial advice here by any means, but just with the different fund objectives, right? QQQ is large cap innovation growth, whereas QTE is income. So they don't care. They're capping the upside, regardless if we're in a bull market, bear market. You're going to be getting capped on the upside. But with that, you're getting almost 40% yield on your investment. So, needless to say, they have their pros and cons, and they have their use cases. Just because they're not comparable, they're two different types of investments. Okay, excuse me. But yeah, guys, so that's probably going to be it for today's video. QDTE is going to be pretty similar to XDTE, where you're going to get close to 30 some cents per week. At least that's what it's been paying now. So you're making on 100 shares, it's only going to cost you around $4,000 here, but you're going to be making 30 some dollars a week, or annualized out over, what was it, 33 times 4, you're making 130 a month times 12, almost $1,600 a year. So pretty cool there. But yeah, guys, that's it for today's video. Please like, subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys think about these types of covered call ETFs. If you're a fan, if you're not a fan, let me know down below.